If you want to instantly become a god at fighting, then you come to the right place. I'm one of the top 100 ranked players in NA, and today I'm going to show all of you 7 different ways to dominate every single fight in ranked. These techniques are designed to end fights in the fastest way possible. So if you guys do enjoy, make sure to like and subscribe. We're almost at 40k subs. Go follow my Twitch and my TikTok and use code Farley. But now onto the video. So first off, let's talk about one of the biggest questions in ranked. How do I fight against players that are better than me? So an example of how to fight against a player better than you would be right here. I'm trying to get the vault and this other player is going to push up to me onto my wall. When he pushes up to my wall, he makes a great play and he flips his ramp and he steals my wall. At this point, I need to back up and create some space. He's able to get some damage on me. So I try and run out in this direction, but you'll notice this railing blocks me and the other player is able to shoot me in the back. And if I pause the fight right now, I am on 1 HP. So if I take any damage, I die right here. And then when the player starts to backpedal, I know I can throw a ramp in his face. And this will give me 2 layers of space in between me and him. This now gives me the time to go run away and I can start to med up. Now while I'm popping my med kit, the other player is obviously going to start to push up next to me. When the player pushes up, he's going to put walls in between me and him so I can't see him. And then he's going to take the cone. So I elevate a layer and I look at him. Now when the player ramps out in front of me, I'm going to elevate and then put a high wall in between me and him. But I notice he pulls out his shotgun right now. So I don't want to edit because he'll just shoot me in my face. So instead, I'm going to wait for him to make a move. When he jumps up in the air and he elevates, I can now wide edit, place a cone above him, and then full box him. I now have him full boxed. All I have to do is break out the floor below him and one pump him, and then I've just picked up a simple kill on an Unreal ranked player. So if you do want to win fights against really good players, make sure to do this. Moving on now, I want to talk about the best way to always full box your opponent, and that is the ramp phase trick. So in this fight right here, I see this player running away from me after I've been chasing him in zone, and I'm going to spray him in the back and I'm going to crack him. Now while he's running away, I want to apply some pressure so that he has to stop moving, because if I don't apply pressure, he's just going to keep running away. So I start to spray him and apply some pressure, and now he's super weak, so he has to box up. Now when the player boxes up, I'm then going to close the distance and I'm going to spray on his metal wall. Now when I spray on the metal wall, I then notice there's no cone in his box. So what I'm going to do is very simple. I'm going to spray his wall until it's super weak, but I'm not going to break it, because if I break it, he could pre-fire me and then I don't have the health advantage. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold my ramp out when the wall is super weak. This means the player will probably pre-fire his own wall. That way I don't take damage while putting peace in his box. Now he's forced to make a decision. He can either stay in the box or he can leave. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to predict where he's going to leave to. So I pre-piece the right side of his box so that if he edits out that direction, I have him full box and I have a right hand peek. And what do you know? He walks right in there and I'm able to pump him and pick up a simple kill. But again, as I mentioned before in so many videos, always expand after you get a kill, because you never know when a third party might show up. Now every player you fight in ranked is going to be different, but there's always that one player in that game that's always trying to jump in your box or just is super aggressive in general. So really quickly, let's show you an example of how to fight against aggressive players properly. So a simple example of how to fight against aggressive players would be right here. I'm chilling on height. I see 2 other people fighting and I start to look at them, but I did notice this player right next to me and he starts to build up next to me and he cones me. Now when this player does cone me, I'm then going to create 2 boxes of space. This is very important against aggressive players, because if they want to jump in your box, you need to make sure you have an extra box to play from if they jump in the other one. Now when the player does drop onto my wall, I notice he just wants to get in. So all I'm going to do is wait for him to break the wall and then I'm going to pre-fire him. This will allow me to get a big hit of opening damage while backing up. Now notice this player grabs the wall in between me and him. So I don't want to stay in this box anymore. So I'm going to flip up the cone in front of me and then I'm going to edit out left with a peanut butter, and then I'm going to create a box to my left and then reset the cone. This will set me up for a perfect peanut butter peek, and since I already have that health advantage, all I have to do is do a little jump shot and then a mammoth pistol, and I'm able to pick up a simple kill. Now after I get that kill, you'll notice that another player was pushing over to me. So it's really important, no matter where you are on the map or what type of kill you get, you always have the habit of creating space. This way, if a third party does show up, you don't have to worry about getting jumped in on. Now I want to talk about one of the main reasons that you're dying in ranked, and that is the timing of edits. A lot of players, when they're fighting, will make edits at the wrong time and they'll either get pumped in their face or they'll die. So really quickly, let's show you an example of how to time your edits properly. Now an example of how to time edits perfectly would be in this fight right here. I've just picked up 2 kills, I've gotten really good loot, but I'm gonna get third partied. When I get third partied, I'm in a bunch of wood boxes, so I'm instantly gonna go try and elevate, and when I realize the other player takes high ground, I'm gonna create a 2x1 of space to make sure I can react to whatever he does in time. When I realize that the player is moving over my head, I can see it with the visual sound effects. I know he's probably going to drop on this wall right here. And when he double edits in, I'm instantly going to edit. The reason is players usually turn around and they pull out their pickaxe. So if I catch him with his pickaxe out, I can wide edit and then crack him. Now when I go for the same edit again, I know the player's probably going to try and shoot the walls. When the player shoots the wall, he now has shotgun delay and he's pulled out his map. So I know I can safely wide edit without him being able to shoot back at me, and then I can pick up a simple kill. And again, after I get that kill, notice how I always expand and create some space with some hard mats. Now every fight you get into in ranked is going to be different. Every player is going to be different and they're going to have a different play style. And when you're fighting players in ranked, you're going to make mistakes. But the key to winning fights in ranked is learning from your mistakes in the middle of a fight. Let's take this fight for example. I'm holding this player in zone. He's going to rocket drill into zone and I'm going to chase him down into this bush. Now when I chase him into this bush, he's then going to elevate a layer with some metal, and I notice there's no cone in his box, so I'm just going to pokeball him and now I have him trapped. I'm then going to fake pickaxe swing and I'm going to drop him down. When I drop him down, we trade damage. You'll notice though, he out damages me and he cracks me. At this point, I make a mistake right here. I wide edit and I expose myself when I have no shields. That means that we trade again, and even though I crack him, I'm now on 11 HP. So if I take any damage, I'm dead. So I'm going to switch to brick and then I'm going to create a 2x1 of space. And when the player tries to jump into my box, I know I can't make any more wide edits because I'll just die. So when he jumps in, I block him off, hold a ramp in my face, and then I edit out to my left. And then I know, again, I can't wide edit right here because he'll just shoot me and I'll die. So instead of editing it, I'm going to hold the wall and reset it. This way the player's now trapped and he's forced to make a decision. He can either stay there or he can shoot the wall. And all I'm going to do is hold the wall and wait till he shoots. That way he now has shotgun delay, and all I have to do is now make a wide edit because of that delay, and I'm able to pump him, pick up my siphon, and after I get that kill, notice how again I block off my back just in case of a third party. Moving on now, I want to talk about a very important piece of this video, and that is opening damage. Opening damage on your opponent is going to allow you to determine if the player you're fighting is good or bad. So in this example right here, Cardi is going into this box right here, and I'm going to see that he's exposed on the back wall. So I'm going to shoot a sticky launcher while sprinting over to then close the distance while I crack the player. Now when I push this player, I notice that he boxes up in one box with no cone in his box. This means he's probably bad. But when I see that his wall is weak, I'm going to shoot it with my mammoth, and then I'm going to wide edit, and I notice the player's placed a ramp, so he's going to try and edit up. So I replace the roof with a cone. This means when the player edits the floor, he can't leave. Then all I have to do is replace it with a cone, pump the player, and I picked up a kill on Cardi. So make sure you're using your opening damage in your fights to determine if the player you're fighting is good or not. Moving on now, I want to talk about one of the most common reasons that you're not ranking up or have not hit Unreal rank already. And that is learning when and when not to fight. Because a lot of players will enter the wrong fights or get too invested in a single fight, and they'll either get third partied or they'll get jumped or they burn all of their mats and then there's shambles and then they die. Let's use this game for an example right here. After picking up a kill, another player is going to push up to me. Now when he pushes me, I'm able to crack this player and I'm able to get him super weak. But while I'm fighting him, you'll notice that a third party is approaching our box, and he has a drum gun and he has the medallion. And when he's pushing over to the right side, imagine I stayed fighting this player and I wasn't aware of the third party. If I stay here, he jumps onto my side and I die. But since I create this space, this gives me time to relax, and it makes this player get shot in his back, and now he has to start to med up. Now right now, while I'm sitting in this box, this is a very key moment not to fight, because imagine I fight this player right here. Even if I kill him, I still have to worry about this fully healed player jumping into my box. So you want to wait for the right time to fight when you know there's no one around you. Now you're probably asking, what if the player is trying to be aggressive and he's trying to jump into your box like this player? Well, the best strategy in my opinion is to keep your distance at least a box away like I am doing here, and apply some pressure with either your AR, shotgun, or your sticky launcher like I do here. This just allows me to push the player back into his box, and I'm actually able to crack him and get him super weak. Now when I crack him, pay attention to the angle I enter the fight from. I'm not dropping on his box right here where the other player could see me. I'm going to go to the back side of his box. This is because this player is now pinched in between me and the other player, and that means I'm more likely to not get third partied, and this guy is. And you'll notice since I did that, I can now see this other guy trying to sneak up on me, and that means I don't get third partied and I don't get jumped in on, and this just allows me to stay alive longer. Now that is going to wrap up this video, so if you guys did enjoy, make sure to like and subscribe, go follow my TikTok, go follow my Twitch, and if you want to see my full fighting guide, go check this video out. But with that, I'm out. Peace.